Well, this is exciting.
It is indeed.
I genuinely look forward to these. It's one of those fun things that is out of our comfort zone, out of the day-to-day routine, and is one of those awesome feelings when you have something new to do.
I'm very good at making inappropriate comments, which is pretty much my life. And so for me, it's very much right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Even before this, we were just saying how we both have no socks on and it's the dead of winter.
Yeah, this is the No Sock Club right here.
So I thought it would be really fun and interesting to see what everyone's 2023 was like and what to look forward to in 2024. I guess I kind of just threw that at you guys. So we have our whole team on this intro. We have a 5-minute just kind of see what everybody's up to.
Good.
Myself, Dan, Andrea, Lauren, Jake, Jason. We got a whole team involved in this. It takes a village. So I thought we'd start, and say, hey, 2023 was a blast. We actually started this podcast in 2023, technically.
That's right. We're in our second year now.
Second year, see?
Yeah.
And I will say, I looked it up the other day, and it's like 63% of podcasts or something like that do not pass one episode. So we are actually in the majority.
Oh, wow.
We're here on our second episode.
Well, it tells you how much we learned the first time around and how good we've gotten at this. And I'm really excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so speaking of last year, you've got big stuff coming up this year. Hey, Lauren, are you there?
I am here it's not so sunny in Florida right now. We have clouds and rain and tornadoes ripping through the state, but I am here.
Well, I hope you're in the basement.
Yeah.
It's probably the best soundproof the basement is, right?
I'll stay safe. I'll try.
Well, hey, you had some big things happen last year, Lauren. You want to talk about that a little bit?
I did. I moved to Florida from Fort Wayne. I had grown up in Fort Wayne, went to Carroll High School, go Chargers, and made the big move down south. I wanted to try something new, and I also started a new job. So here I am, new state, new job, got this new passion project, the podcast, and loving every second of it. 2024 has been off to a great start. And I'm looking at the clock right now, and it's 4:24 p.m. So
Perfect.
I'm sorry, what's the significance of 424?
24, the year, it's a lucky number, 24.
Oh, 24. Okay, I'm with you now. Thank you.
Dan was probably thinking about 420.
A little bit slow on the uptake here. Yeah, 420. That's my number.
Not that number.
Well, and Dan, I was thinking about it, it is fun that we're here and, we've known each other from the past from working out together and such. So that's how we all got connected. Outside of that, yes, you see, good thing the camera doesn't show everything, right?
Do you want me to take my shirt off? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes, we do know each other from the gym and
but
probably
now we're here in 2024. And do you feel good about what 2023 brought to you?
Yeah, I'm healthy. I had another birthday last year. I'm guessing most of us did, but I'm healthy and I'm still working. And we did some traveling last year, and this year it remains to be seen what'll happen. But I'm getting optimistic and thinking that we're probably going to have a really good year. At the end of this year, I know I'm going to look back and say, you know what, turned out really well.
Yeah,
glad it was a good year.
Yeah, if you're going into the year not optimistic, that's not a good look for it.
Not good.
You can only go uphill from a new year, right?
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
Or downhill. I don't know. It's depends on how you ended the year.
Yeah. I bet we can find a guest somewhere along the way that things have not gone so well and ask them to come in here and tell us.
But it's only
about
been 8 days or whatever. So,
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But I will say I'm excited for 2024 because we are expecting our third child. So it's very exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So, a lot going on. and I'm excited for this. This is one of my passions right now.
Yeah,
is
I can tell.
meeting new people and being in a really nice space here, doing something different, uncomfortable. You know, the first episode we did, I felt very uncomfortable. It was, and I usually don't feel that way.
Yeah. So what made you feel that way that time?
I got here and I'm talking to Jason. I could barely get 2 words in. I'm just like kind of just shaking a little bit.
Dry mouth.
Yeah, dry mouth. And I'm like, can I get some water? I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't get that way. So it's kind of interesting how things can change in an instant. You have balance, you have everything going, and then all of a sudden you do something different. But what if you did have just steady, just the same thing over and over again? Do you think that you'd, like that?
Well, I'd be pretty bored. In fact, I'm surprised I've been doing my business now for 37 years. That's longer than I've done anything. It's pretty amazing to me.
That is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, I think we all need some sort of a new challenge, some sort of something that takes you out of your familiar surroundings and puts you into an environment that you've not been in before. And certainly this is one of those places, I think, for both of us and probably for everybody. Maybe Lauren's a little bit more accustomed to this, but I think most of us are not. We're novices. We're newbies. We're trying to figure it out as we go.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Andrea, do you feel like what do you feel about this year, last year, and do you feel this is going to be a smash hit?
Yes, to all of the above. I think last year was good. I was excited to be asked to be part of this project. So it's become my passion as well. It's fun. It's interesting. I don't know anything about podcasts. I don't listen to them, but I do listen to this one, and so should everybody else. So yeah, and I think it's going to be really good. It's going to be fun to meet new people, doing things at the, quick turnarounds sometimes that you have with guests and things like that. So it'll be fun. I think 2024 is going to be a really good year.
That's perfect. Hey,
There you go.
that's what I'm talking about. That being said, are we just going to bring our guest in?
We have a guest today.
We have a guest.
Our first guest.
We almost didn't have a guest,
Yeah.
but we have a guest.
Yes, we do have a guest. Last minute, thank goodness, he was available. So, Billy, he's your buddy. I'm going to let you introduce him and invite him in.
Awesome. All right, so we have Jon Zolnik's coming here today, and I'm very excited about this. I've known him for about a year, and he's a husband, father. He actually went viral twice. So I'm excited to hear more about that. I've seen his videos.
So he didn't have a virus twice. He went viral.
Oh, you went,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Let's get that clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
You don't have any viruses today, do you, John?
No, not today.
All right, good.
Maybe back in the day.
Come on. How are you, buddy? Thanks for being here.
Well done. Thanks for having me back.
So I didn't get to finish. Jon also works and is the VP of Treasury Manager of Premier Bank.
Yep.
He also is coaching. He loves to coach. And above that, he's a creator. He likes to be creative. So, I think this is hopefully right up your alley. I called you today.
Yeah.
So
About an hour ago.
yeah. And I was thinking, Andrea said it best. She was like, who can we find today? And she said, well, maybe some bankers are available.
Yeah, they can't play golf this afternoon.
Yeah, I saw your guys' intro from last week when I was driving over here, and you guys were giving all these A-listers like Chuck Sirach, Tom Henry, and then here I am on your first episode. You got all these A-listers, and then you bring me down to the Z-lister, which is great because my last name's Zolnik,
Yeah.
so it all works out, right?
Oh,
so
that's
it
why we
all
call you
plays
Z?
out.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
All right.
Well, we didn't want to invite the important people in at the beginning until we kind of get a rhythm going here.
Right.
So you're our guinea pig.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me.
No, but seriously, I've always been inspired about what you do. I met you through my brother-in-law, Jake, who's on this call here. And I will say the inspiring thing is you're a family man. You have time to, work your ass off.
Yep.
And then also, I saw you coach one day, and John's out there sleeveless, and it's like 50 degrees, and he's getting after it, a true, to me, what a football coach would look like. And so I was like, hey, that's that's pretty cool. And so, that being said, what is your favorite thing about your day?
Honestly, my favorite thing about my day is just creating new relationships, right? I've been doing that since my early 20s. It took me a lot to get to where I am today, but every day I look forward to meeting new people. Like I just met Dan today, and hopefully in the future, I can go out to lunch and dinner and get to learn more about you down the road. But that's my favorite thing, man, is relationships in the football world, the banking world, even in like the dad world, right? Just connecting with other dads, seeing what they're going through, the struggles, the strengths, all that stuff. I think relationships are everything in every aspect. So
I couldn't agree more, John.
Yep.
I've been at my business for 37 years, and that's exactly how we've built the business, is on relationships.
Yep.
Because if you don't have those, tough to make it work.
Right. It's everything, right? Like, just like when me and Billy first met, and Billy's energy is contagious, right? Like everyone loves being around him.
Yes.
And ever since him and I met, that relationship's gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's led to me sitting here today, which is awesome, man.
Yeah. For me, the whole part of life, and we're tailored to this. No matter who you are, say you're not outgoing or you're outgoing or whatnot, you still need that social aspect. You still need that energy to talk to people. And that comes back to this whole thing of networking. We need to come together more.
Yep.
That being said, when you connect with your family, your work, is it very, easygoing, or is it just like, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's a grind both ways, right? So my biggest thing, like when I wake up, is how can I get 2 opportunities a day, right? Also, when I go home, it's like, how can I make all 3 of my kids' childhood like memorable, right? And during football, it's tough because I'm away a little bit, but I make up for it for bedtime and all that stuff. But everything is about opportunities. Like every time, for Monday through Friday, look for 2 opportunities a day, and then when I get home, how can I make these guys' childhood memorable? Right.
What's one of the best things you've done with your kids to make their young lives special? Memorable.
I would say going to Kalahari, like, water park, stuff like that. Cause like going down water slides with my 2 boys, like I'm even a kid again, right? Like that's memorable to me because we're laughing, going down the slides. And, I'm a big boy, so like when we hit the bottom, these guys get catapulted into the water, and that's just like a fun memory for me because they're laughing in the air, and that will live with them forever, right? Dad going down a water slide with me when I was 6 years old, so stuff like that is.
Oh yeah, and I always joked before having kids that I wouldn't remember anything from my childhood. I'm like, why can I not remember that? And then all of a sudden I have kids, and these memories are just like flowing back in.
Yep.
They do something, and I'm like, whoa. It just hits you.
Yep.
And I think the water park incident is like, hey, just brings you right back. And it's,
I thought that locking the kids in the basement would be a very memorable thing. That's what we did. Now I'm realizing maybe that wasn't the best thing to do. We should have tried something different.
No, you guys are onto something back then. That's the truth. Because sometimes you do want to lock them down there.
Yeah. Well, you get the playroom, right? That's what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. What did I say? What did I say? Did I not say the playroom?
But no, I always try to shoot for memorable moments, especially making up for lost time during football season. Like this past year, we took them down to Disney World and did all the rides and stuff like that just to give them those memories. So when they look back, the photos and stuff, they can enjoy those.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
And you bring that same energy to work too. I've seen it through football, but also, you've succeeded so well in your career. You started at Angie's List, and Andre, you were talking about it with John before this, so I'll let you guys talk about that. But I'm not saying that like the ladder needs climbed, right? Yeah. It's just one of those things you just have to work at and keep growing your own self and also growing the people around you. And somehow that all comes together as one and keeps you going.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So I know you guys had an interesting conversation about Angie's List. If you wanted to bring that up, Andrea.
Well, he worked with my son at Angie's List in Indianapolis. But it was just interesting because it was a different concept in selling to what I was ever familiar with, because I've always done sales as well. So it was, they have a bullpen and your numbers are up in front of people all the time. And they would escort people out of the room if they were not making their numbers, and you would never see them again. Luckily, John and my son were never escorted out. So
it was cutthroat. Like you'd walk in there with like 100 people and you had to sell $7,500 within a 48-hour period. And most people would just get up within 5 minutes and just leave because they couldn't do the cold calling, right? So when I went in there, I had that 7,500 done within like 45 minutes. And because I hit 2 sales real quick and I got put on a great team. And I thought, hey, man, I can do this. So once I got on that team, I thought, okay, well, maybe I won't like this, but I'm going to do the best I can and try to be the best on the team. So first year in, became the #1 sales rep in the whole company. And they promoted me to another top-notch team. Again, reset, right? How do I get to be the best on that one? Because I'm a very competitive guy from a sports background, and became the #1 rep again that second year for the whole entire company. That got me a promotion out to Los Angeles to become the field rep of LA all the way down to San Diego.
Wow.
So that was very exciting because I've never left the state of Indiana. So this was like my first initial move out of state. And I went out there by myself. My wife and I were going to get married that summer. So this was like a big decision for me to make. And I told her, like, if I don't take this window of opportunity, I'm never going to get it again. And just to kind of moving forward, she was going to be stationed in San Diego because she was a dentist in the Navy. So I thought, hey, let me get out there a year early. And then once you move out there, you know, we'll make it work. We'll get a place there and this and that. But I got to take this opportunity. And I kind of got with my small circle that I have a support team. And they are all say, you got to go, man. You got to get out there. So took the jump, went out there by myself, got a studio apartment like 2 blocks away from Staples Center. And was on my own out there in Los Angeles, California. And again, from the field reps, I was able again to reset. How can I be #1 in the field rep team, right? And was #1 throughout the whole field reps throughout the whole team. So that was pretty exciting.
That's huge. Yeah. And I feel like you're a guy that's not gonna plateau, right? You don't like to plateau. So you get that $75 that you're trying to get. You're going above that,
right? And the thing is too, what got me there. So like my early 20s, like before that, like it was a struggle, man. Like trying to figure out who you are, what you want to do, the ups and downs, you know, at that time too, like the partying was very high and you just wanted to figure out, what am I going to do with my life? And I say this to everyone, Angie's List gave me my jump start to where I'm at today now in Fort Wayne, because all the different types of people that I met with and the deals that I've closed and just the different backgrounds and how everyone handled business a different way, that set me up for success for future business roles that I had, because it was a cutthroat sales job, right? You're dealing with blue collar guys that think you're always going to like screw them over because you're in sales, but really you're just trying to promote their company and highlight it and help them get extra business to help grow their company as well. So I enjoyed that big time because I love doing business with blue collar guys.
Hey, John, how much of a culture shock was it to move to Los Angeles and live out there? And that's a very different world.
Oh yeah, big time. So like traffic, right? So if I had a 11 o'clock meeting in the morning, I'd have to leave at 5 a.m. Like just traffic alone was brutal, right? So you're trying to plan all these meetings and you can't do it like you did in Indianapolis because it just doesn't work, right?
Different planet.
So I would try to get guys to meet downtown and try to set them up like back to back to back to back just so I could hit my sales goals. But it was a complete culture shock. But I also had a lot of fun out there too because I knew it wasn't going to be long term. So like I did like The Price is Right, the game shows, all that fun stuff, went to Hollywood studios and just ended up enjoying it as much as I could because I knew we weren't going to be there long term.
I just heard 2 interesting things. One being you can have two things. Interesting. One of them was you can be in Indianapolis and you can, I think we got something going on here. Got a mic coming in. I'm like distracted.
This episode is brought to you by Sasquatch Tea. It's America's tea.
I love how it just blocked me.
Yeah, right.
Jake did that on purpose.
Yes. So
Now, that is our first sponsor, thanks to Tom Tippmann, and it's exciting.
it is exciting. I got a text the other day, and it was Tom, and he was like, "Hey, I'd love to be a sponsor."
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
and I was like, "Yes." I didn't think anybody would want to. So Sasquatch Tea is really amazing. It is veteran founded and American tea. Tom was telling me everything's produced in California, and I cannot wait to try this stuff. For me, I'm a coffee guy.
Don't you have to
too.
be a
looks good.
Sasquatch? It's Sasquatch tea. Isn't it just for Sasquatches?
Well, I hope I can turn into,
maybe you turn into one.
Yeah, right?
I think they use Sasquatch in the ingredients.
Sasquatch is in.
Oh, I hope not.
Where else can you get it? You can get it at Bass Pro Shop. And
Yeah, Bass Pro Shop.
Where else?
Aren't they on
Nolt's
the-
up in Cedarville,
Nolt's?
right?
Aren't those on the
Yeah.
endangered species
Yeah.
list?
The store.
Yeah, they are.
Wait.
You can get it. Yeah, Bass Pro Shops, Nolt's at Leo Crossing, GK Provisions, also General or Electric Works downtown.
Boom.
Perfect.
Awesome.
First sponsor.
Let's go.
Thanks so much, guys.
America's number
Thank
one
you,
tea.
Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Sasquatch Tea.
So you heard two interesting
interesting
things.
things.
So all of the things he said, you only took two interesting things out of that?
That's why I paused. Like, where there was so many things going on, and I'm like, I don't know where I'm at. Two things. Indianapolis, you can get to meetings just like that. Fort Wayne, you can get to meetings just like that. Today, I called you guys at 2 p.m. and I said, hey, we need to get to the show.
We're on.
We're on. We're here at 4 p.m. The second thing interesting is a lot of today's society, we all are wired that like it needs to be easy,
Right.
cush.
All right.
We can't really say too many things. Where this job structured you differently and made you who you are because it was a little push.
Yep. Let's go out and get it.
Yeah, it's do or die in
Yeah.
that job. Hey, John, so not to change the subject, but you keep referencing football, and I don't know what the history there is. What's that all about?
Yeah, so I played football almost my entire life. I started in third grade, played at St. Vincent's, went to Bishop Dwenger High School, ended up getting a scholarship to University of Indianapolis, and then it was short-lived there. And I got away from the game for a little bit, and when I was out in California, I started volunteering for a high school out there. And once we moved to South Carolina, I jumped on full-time with a team and fell in love with the game again.
Yeah.
During my time down there, I took my bumps as far as being a position coach and then getting promoted all the way up to defensive coordinator. And I ended up getting on an academy down there because there's big-time academies down in the South. And we took losing programs and turned them into winning programs. So I was able, again, take young kids who from zero backgrounds, no family life, this and that, and get these guys to gel together to be one and go out there and win football games. And to me, it was like just a great feeling.
Yeah, awesome.
And I can't let that feeling go out. Someday, maybe probably when my kids start getting older and they're playing, I'll probably put it down. But then we moved back here to Fort Wayne, and I jumped on with Northrop High School. Again, tough background, kids you want to get to become a team. And we got big time wins. Like we beat Homestead first time in school history. Just big time wins for a program that didn't win in the past. And then these last 2 years, I went over to Leo High School. And this past year, just this year, 2023, we took them the furthest in school history all the way to semi-state.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Yep.
Well, being in football, you must know Tom Brady.
I know Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Yes.
awesome. Good for you.
Yep.
Yeah, because he owes me some money. So if you could tell him to be sure to send that check, I'd appreciate that. $50,000.
We'll make some calls. But yeah, I love football. I just love what it does for kids. So obviously I'm competitive. I love winning football games, but I guess you used to say high you get from it is helping kids get to school. We just went over it the other day. I've gotten 66 kids into college to go play college football since I've started. I still have those relationships with those kids today. I shouldn't say kids; they're my little brothers, and I still follow them. Happy Thanksgiving text, Merry Christmas. They become family over time, right?
Sure.
And that's the joy that I get out of coaching, is helping these kids get to the next level, and also taking the kids who don't really see the field, just helping them grow confidence for the business world later on in life. So
Nice.
That's so
awesome.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
How are you going to give up on coaching it? I feel like you're really good at it.
It's when my boys get up there, because I made a promise to myself that I would never coach my sons. Right, my job as a dad is to put them in the best spot to succeed and get them in front of coaches that will push them to be their best. Right now, we're very fortunate. Both my sons have very good coaches. They instill discipline, respect, eye contact, all that. But you look around, and there's bad coaching out there, and you'll see it. Teams that we're playing, and you feel bad for those kids because they're not getting the coaching that they need, right? Now it's going to be tough for me as a dad when they're playing and I need to be out there. And yeah, I'll probably pace back and forth, but I've seen horror stories as far as dads being on staffs with kids and these kids quitting or just giving up, or it's just too much mentally, and these kids will tap out. So my number one job is to be dad and make sure that my sons have great coaching in front of them, which with the transfer portal today, you can do that, right? Like, you got great coaching at Lures. Coach Dorfler is a great coach at Leo. You got Coach Tittman, who just won state. Lures just won state. If you want to put your kids in great position to succeed, you should probably put them in those programs.
Interesting.
Yep.
It's a changing world.
Yep.
Yep. Usually you'd be stuck with your own team.
Yep.
Speaking of your own team, you mentioned your two sons. You have three kids, I think you said, right?
I have 3 kids. I have a 7-year-old, soon to be 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
And she's my favorite by far.
Of course, she's a girl.
Little
Yeah.
girls are pretty special.
They are.
Indeed.
They are. I never thought I would say that because I love my 2 boys, but she has won me over through and through.
Yeah, nice.
So-
And she's 4?
She's 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very
she's
fun.
she's in preschool right now. Yep.
And your lovely bride, I believe, works in the dental world.
Yep. So kind of take you back through history there. She went to IU and then went to dental school at IUPUI. She joined the Navy to become a dentist, so they paid for her whole schooling. So we were stationed in San Diego and also in Hilton Head, so that's why I was jumping around. And once her orders were up, we had to make a decision. She had an opportunity to buy into a practice down there, and she said, it's time to go home. And I was kind of iffy about it at first because I had a great job and a great coach, had a great work job and a great coaching job down there. And but I felt bad for her because her friends were getting shipped off to different ports and she was being left there in Hilton Head. So we made a family
What
decision.
a horrible place to be left.
I know.
I cannot believe they did that to her.
So we made a family decision to go back. And when we came back, we saw the good things happening in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We saw the growth. We saw the downtown. And I thought, whoa, this isn't the same Fort Wayne that I grew up in.
Yeah, yeah.
And we started to see the development happening in the riverfront. And I thought, this is something. And then I saw a boat go by the river. I'm like, this never existed, you know? So I was like, that's pretty cool. And so we came up here. She had an opportunity. And I said, you know what? You want to go home and you got friends there. I got friends there. We got kids the same age. And we've been here now for 4 years. And Fort Wayne has been the best move that we made so far, coming back home. Mm-hmm. And will we go somewhere later down the road? Maybe when we retire, but this is home now. And I can't wait to raise my kids here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Yep.
We've talked about this too as a group. We love hearing about Fort Wayne for that reason. People move, people come back. You and I both went to St. Vincent, Dwenger.
Yep.
We're natives. But the interesting thing is everyone says it. If they do move, they're excited to come back for reasons of the excitement of Fort Wayne.
Yep.
You know, I remember the same thing. You'd go downtown and it'd be like those Western scenes where you got the cotton rolling everywhere. You know, you don't see anybody. Deserted. Now you see everybody down there.
Yeah.
And it's really special. And I think that it's fun to be a part of it.
Yeah. It's growing. It's growing. I mean, I've had buddies come back too. They'd be like, Z, I can't believe you came back to Fort Wayne. I'm like, it's awesome here, man. You live like a king. You know, everything's affordable. You know, you talk to your buddies that are in New York and Florida and California, like
San Diego.
yeah, what they're
Very
paying,
expensive.
right? Like their rent is our mortgage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can do such great things here. And again, the networking here in Fort Wayne is phenomenal. And that's why I love sitting with you guys here today is it's all about the networking and the relationships. And it just continues to grow for me since I've been home.
And it's like seeing an old buddy.
Yep.
You could meet somebody the first time in Fort Wayne and hit it off because you have so much in common.
Yep.
You have the city in common.
Yep.
Not to curve this off a little bit, but I think that we got to talk about this place we're in right now too a little bit. This Sweetwater.
Yeah, this is sweet.
Isn't this cool?
This is so sweet.
I mean, we all got here. John's like,
This is
wow,
unreal.
This is nice, right?
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. This
Yes.
is cool.
And by the way, this little decorative table in front of us, I'm not sure the camera can see it, but it's a 100-year-old bass drum. I don't remember what brand it is. Slingerland, maybe? I'm not sure, but
Yeah, it's a Slingerland.
Slingerland? Yeah. A 100-year-old bass drum here in front of us. And I'm guessing if you hooked up a pedal to that thing, it would probably sound absolutely awesome.
I will.
so cool.
I will tell you. I got in today here, and I hear something going on in the studio, and I'm like, "What's going on?" I thought we were the only ones here, and I get in here. Dan is just ripping the drums.
Yeah, ripping.
And I'm like, this is awesome. So we got maybe our new intro. I took a video.
Just for the record, there's a set of drums sitting over behind the camera.
It was incredible.
Hey, John, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Well, I have two questions. The first one is, you mentioned that you went viral. Is that your podcast? Just you in general, your life?
Yeah. So during, this is funny. So during COVID, everyone was working from home, right? Well, you had a lot of time to spare. So I was driving my kid and I put this bear filter on and I scared him, which makes me sound awful. But anyways, just the way that I did it and the verbiage that I used, it ended up going viral. And I ended up just running with it. So my wife was like, hey, like there's controversy with this video. Like there's love, there's hate. And you just need to keep making videos. So that one video ended up giving me sponsors from Manscaped. It ended up being on Barstool Sports, E! News. They were interviewing me on news channels. It just took off. So I just, during that time of COVID, I just kept making more dad videos. And I think with over that bear video, I think it's over like 100 million views now.
Oh my
gosh, I have to research that.
It's crazy. And another video that I did back then too, I did a Christmas video. And just like 2 weeks ago, it was on Cedric the Entertainer's new show. So these videos from 2 years ago just keep coming back, right? And I'll get like Instagram DMs like, hey man, can we send you free stuff? Will you post this and stuff like that? So anyways, my supportive wife, who I thought immediately would say, delete your account, was like, hey man, you got to run with this. This is something that you always wanted to do. So I did. I started making dad videos for about a year and picked up a ton of sponsors and was getting interviewed. And it was a lot of fun. I ended up getting recruited by this viral dad chat. Like it just kept going on and on and on and on. And it was exciting at the same time. So yeah, it was a bear video scaring my kid that led to that viral. And then videos down the road led to more and more appearances on TV.
Would you ever thought you were going to be on a viral video?
No. And the thing is I didn't even send it in. My buddy did. So he sent it into Barstool Sports. And then once something hits Barstool Sports, it's wildfire, right? And people were making parodies about it. Like they were acting like me to their kid, scaring their kid. Ended up being on the Daily News up in New York. I was on Jacksonville News, Nashville News. It was everywhere.
Oh my goodness!
So
and here we are thinking we're so special here, you know,
at our podcast here.
Okay, here's my second question, and this is a question that's typically asked, like women. But
where's this going?
you have a really busy life. You work full time, dad full time, the football thing. What do you do for you?
For me, that's a great question. My alone time is definitely working out to keep my mental state right. I love to work out. Definitely do trips to get away. Me and my wife will take trips by ourselves, and we'll also do family vacations too. That's something that I need for myself. I also like to do side businesses as well and consult for other companies, just to have, side money on the side to keep income coming in. But really, the number one thing that I really like to do for myself is just help growing myself to provide for my family. That's number one thing for me.
No, that's a great answer.
So
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
and I would have never said that in my 20s, ever. But again, that whole Angie's List, again, I'll always say this, projected me to where I am today, being the VP at Premier. And again, the number one thing is providing for the family.
Nice.
Do you think other Angie's List veterans would feel the same way? Do you talk to some of those folks?
I do. A lot of guys that were on my team or started their own companies, or managers somewhere else. I know just recently, 2 of the guys that were on my team are medical sales. And again, them having to deal with different backgrounds and all those different type of businesses, you learn about people.
Sure.
Right. And the minute you start reading body language and learning about people, you can sell anything, right? It's how can I provide a product to you that benefits you, but also how can I, service you in a way that wants you to do more business with me. So,
Yeah. And does Angie's List still exist? I don't
no,
hear much about it.
They got bought out by Home Advisor. Yeah, I think they got bought out by Home Advisor.
Yeah.
So it's done. I don't know anyone that's there anymore. Again, that was 15 years ago.
Did you guys wear like suits? Like Wall Street? It was like
No. What's funny is that it started in a warehouse off of Shadeland Avenue in Indianapolis, where there's like kegs and all this. There's no rules. Okay. Then they went public, and then they moved to the Landing downtown. And after that, that's when Angie's List really took off. And then Home Advisor came in and bought them.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, John, I know you didn't want me to ask about this, but I didn't know if you wanted to talk about your part in taking all the courts out at Spiece Fieldhouse.
Oh, man.
You played quite the big part in that. So
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Jake. So as you know, Spiece Fieldhouse is no more. The basketball courts are gone. The side hustle that I was talking about, consulting for business owners, I broke down those numbers, and we were noticing that the basketball was not bringing in the revenue that it needed to be. So I sat down with the business owner, and we went through everything, and he thought he could get any coach in there to get it going. Well, COVID really crushed them, so competition opened up all over the city. So you had OPS, Parkview, and now just New Haven just got approved to build their sports complex out there. And I'm like, you got to change the vision. So as we were sitting there, I was telling him like, hey, I got these 2 guys that I used to work for. They're looking for real estate, and they bought into a pickleball franchise. And so I set up this meeting with Ace Pickleball and the owner of Spiece, and we put a contract together. And before you knew it, like Ace Pickleball is now in Fort Wayne, Indiana. But it needed to be done. A lot of people didn't like that because of the history of Spiece, but the building was going to go bankrupt and go under. So the basketball would have been gone regardless. So it was a deal that needed to be made. And what we did too is we broke it up into 3 separate entities. So you had Ace Pickleball on one side. In the middle is Power Up Action Park. And then the third part is Culture Gym. So now, instead of just waiting for a basketball tournament to come in, which was only in the summers because everyone's in school in the fall and winter, he's now getting revenue each and every month from 3 separate business owners. So we've really changed that building. But yes, the basketball community was in an uproar, and rightfully so, because I played there when it was packed and the gym rats were there. But change needed to happen.
Is that why you didn't want to talk about it? Is because of the
The
bad
backlash.
Yeah.
But there's
Jake's laughing back
yeah,
there.
right. There's a positive to it, though. I mean, you
Yeah.
you look at this place; it's pristine. It's
Yeah.
so nice inside.
Yep.
I think it needed
Yeah.
it. It needed to change.
It did. The building was going to go under regardless.
Well, it's a growing sport too.
Yep.
I mean, this pickleball is getting huge.
Yeah, and I just talked to the owners the other day. They already got 200 people on the waiting list, and that's a shout out to TK Herman and Scott Howard. Those guys.
What's the waiting list for? What's that?
For memberships.
Oh, got it.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, I heard insurance is going up as well.
Yep.
Because a lot of the elderly are playing.
Yep.
And they're getting hurt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bad.
Oh yeah.
So it's helping everybody, right?
Yeah.
When you say elderly, what are you talking about?
I wasn't looking at you.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I have an interesting question that I just thought of because of your career and your path. You know, it does seem like it's catapulted, right? So it's always, gotten better and sounds like. Do you feel that you ever had that moment of stuck, a little bit where because you seem like a creative guy. Do you feel ever that you had moments of, doubt or, anything like that?
Yeah. Every time I made a move, I had to start over. Right. So like when I went to LA, I had to start completely over. And then when I moved to South Carolina, I had to find a complete career change and had to go into a completely different industry. And I would try to take my skills from what I learned in the past. And then when we came back to Fort Wayne, I jumped on with a software sales company, and within 6 months they sold. So again, I hit a roadblock, right? Luckily, with the connections that I had, I was able to meet with the market president of Premier Bank. And when we did the interview and so forth, I have zero banking background whatsoever. And I thought for sure he wasn't going to give me a shot, but he needed sales today. And he goes, "Hey man, I'm going to give you this opportunity. Don't blow it." So yeah, I mean, there's been roadblocks a lot, like having to start over and get into new industries. And I think just growing up over time, I think when I had my first kid, I really started to grow up because again, back to my early 20s, no one in this room would have hired me, right? But having that first kid, hitting those roadblocks, coming back here to help my wife's career grow too and help network her, because even when I'm out in these meetings, I'm trying to push her like, hey, my wife's a dentist, so forth. And she does a very good job too, giving back to the community as well. We're really big on that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Fort Wayne we talk about this, it's a little hidden gem and it gives people opportunities. Yeah. I think that you are a perfect guest for here. I know we were joking, it's last minute and everything, but you have great balance. You've talked about, full circle of work, life, what you like to do, but also it comes back to, your family and bringing everything together and everyone together in your life, whether it be work or family. And I appreciate that about you.
Yep.
And I wanted to just say, is there anything else about Fort Wayne that you wanted to tell everybody before we leave here today?
Yeah, if you're looking to move back and you got thoughts about moving back, definitely do it. Right, there is a circle here where you can network. It's almost like a fraternity, right? Like everybody knows everybody. Everybody does business with everybody. You will make a career here in Fort Wayne, especially where the landscape's going with Cedarville and New Haven and Huntertown and Southwest. Fort Wayne is growing. And if you have the opportunity to come back, do it. I didn't want to, but me making that move with my family was the best decision that we've ever made.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you for coming in today, John.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it a
Thank
lot.
you so much.
Next time I'm here, I gotta see you play these drums.
Okay.
Love it.
I promise I'll do that.
Well, this has been Between Three Rivers, and it's episode 2. It's been a blast.
Yeah.
And I thank everybody being a part of this. And we look forward to hearing more about you down the road.
Absolutely. And thanks to all who will be watching and listening.
Boy,